Very good evening. Welcome to the State of Business on our television. I'm Sachin Ratnayaka. Let's look at the headlines first. A supplementary budget of 73.2 billion rupees presented in Parliament. Sri Lanka does not need the IMF support at this moment, State Minister Cabral says. News in detail. Government today presented to Parliament a supplementary estimate worth 73.2 billion rupees to be spent for the current COVID-19 pandemic and other expenses. The supplementary estimate, which was presented to the House by Chief Government Whip Johnston Fernando. The government sought the approval of the House to spend for the pandemic-related matters in all 24 districts, including the North and the East. The government sought to spend extra funds for the COVID treatment centers to provide relief to those who are under quarantine and for the people affected by the pandemic. Government also sought the approval of Parliament to spend more funds as a relief to fishermen and also to allocate 8.04 billion rupees to settle the bills for the extension of Southern Highway from Mathura to Hambantota. A sum of 26 million rupees has been estimated to be spent for the Surya Weber International Cricket Stadium. Government also sought the House's approval to spend 8.8 million rupees to improve the building of the State Ministry of Coconut, Kithul, Palmyra and Rubber Cultivation Promotion and related industrial product manufacturing and export diversion.
මුදල අමාත්‍යතුමා විසින් සාධන ලදුව 2021 මැයි 10 දින ඇති අංක 22යි 27 ඇලෙයිරක් දෙක දරන අතිවිශේෂ ගැසට් පත්‍රය පළ කරන ලද නියෝගය මම ඉදිරිපත් කරමි. මෙම නියෝග රජයේ මුදල් පිළිබඳ කාරක සභාවෙත යොමු කළ යුතුයයි මම යෝජනා කරමි. 2020 අංක 7 දරන විසර්ජන පනතේ 6.1 වගන්තිය යටතේ 2021 6යි 22 සිට 2021 7යි 29 දක්වා ජාතික අයවැය දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවේ වැය ශීර්ෂ අංක 240 යටතේ පරිපූර්ණක සහාය සේවා සහ හදිසි අවශ්‍යතා වගකීම් ව්‍යාපෘතිය මගින් සිදු කරන ලද පරිපූර්ණක වෙන්කිරීම පිළිබඳ සටහන මම ඉදිරිපත් කරමි.
State Minister for Money and Capital Markets Ajit Niwad Cabral reiterates that Sri Lanka does not need the International Monetary Fund at the moment and country has enough plans, measures and ability to settle all due debts. State Minister made these observations during a virtual media briefing held recently.
I have also seen several news reports which referred to Sri Lanka's need to go to the IMF and seek support, as well as debt to be supported with the IMF. We don't have a need to do that. We do have a respect for the IMF and we have worked with them in the past as well. However, at this moment of time, we have identified the needs as well as the requirements of our economy, and we are working that out in the best way possible in the interests of all our stakeholders, the importers, the exporters, the lenders, the borrowers, the banking sector, and all stakeholders have been thought through. And we are confident that with our plan that we have put in place, as well as the new initiatives that we are taking, we would be able to ensure that Sri Lanka will not have to default at any time in the near future or even in the foreseeable future, or for that matter in the future at all. So therefore we want to assure all those who may have been to some extent concerned about these stories not to get worried about it, that we will be able to ensure that every single one of the debts are paid. Sri Lanka has an impeccable record and we obviously want to maintain that, and we have the necessary resources as well as the commitment as well as the plans that will give us the opportunity as well as the ability to make that happen. So I want to reassure all those who may have been concerned as a result of these reports that Sri Lanka would not be able to meet its debt, that we are very much having the ability to do so and we have the commitment to do so as well.
State Minister of Money, Capital Market and State Enterprise Reforms Ajit Niwad Cabral said that country can be opened out soon as the country's vaccination program is completed. State Minister Cabral gave this assurance addressing a media briefing at the Government Information Department last Friday.
I saw several news media reports which dealt with COVID management and some were not very accurate. So in order to put the record right, we want to say that almost 99% of those who have had to have the COVID vaccination have got their first jab, and about 70% will probably get the jab in the next week, by the end of next week. And we are hoping by the 15th or so to have all people who should have been vaccinated to have been completed with their vaccinations. So Sri Lanka will be able to face up to this threat with a great amount of confidence, and with that we should be able to open out the country without any restrictions, of course with the health restrictions still in place, but to ensure that normal life could occur once again as quickly as possible.
Stay tuned for more news. We'll be right back after a small commercial break.
SLT Mobitel home broadband within online learning සහ online working සඳහා ඇදහිය නොහැකි data දීමනා GB 30ක් රුපියල් 195යි GB 100ක් රුපියල් 490යි කාර්යාලයක් පාසලක් ගෙදරටම ගෙනෙන ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ ප්‍රමුඛතම ඉන්ටර්නෙට් සබඳතාවය SLT Mobitel එකම එක සබැදියාව.
Welcome back to the State of Business. State Pharmaceutical Corporation Chairman Dr. Prasanna Gunasena stated that there is no shortage of the drug tocilizumab, which is needed to save the lives of patients suffering from COVID pneumonia. Addressing a media briefing recently, the SPC chairman said that the drug will be made available in the country with the assistance of the Indian High Commission in Sri Lanka.
The tocilizumab is a debatable topic, it has been. We have imported tocilizumab. Tocilizumab is a monoclonal antibody, humanized monoclonal antibody that is again a kind of a blood product. It's a serum kind of product that is manufactured with a very stringent manufacturing process. It has been manufactured by Roche, that's one company that has the patent. And Sri Lanka there is an agent, and Sri Lanka, India or any other country will get only a quota allocated by the manufacturer. Now currently, as State Pharmaceutical Corporation, we have provided more than 650 vials of tocilizumab vaccines end of July to the Ministry of Health based on the orders placed by the Ministry of Health and the availability of the vaccine by the manufacturer. And they have promised us that they will give another 500 vials within the first week of September. However, due to the increased demand, after WHO has recommended this drug for a very limited population of patients end of July. Actually that recommendation came end of July. So within the month of August the demand has grown up very large. Now we have discussed this matter with the Roche company, regional company, as well as the company at Geneva through our foreign mission, and they have positively replied to us, and probably within the next couple of days they will inform us what additional quantities that they can provide to Sri Lanka.
SPC Chairman Dr. Prasanna Gunasena at the same time explained that the so-called drug is not a prescribed medicine for the COVID-19 and it could be prescribed only at certain conditions of the patients. Dr. Prasanna Gunasena clarified how this medicine should be prescribed on the patients who are suffering with COVID-19.
This is not a magic drug that can cure all COVID patients. It's a wrong thing. This actually controls the immune response. So when this drug is given to a patient, it has to be made sure that this person is not having any other infection and the patient is fit to get tocilizumab. So if it is given to a wrong patient, this drug itself can worsen the condition and kill the patient. So don't believe the rumors going in as this drug as a magic drug. It has to be given after thorough evaluation of the patient for very particular indications in this patient. So we are working very hard, and there are other importers that are trying to get the vaccine to country. Probably Indian High Commission also helps us, and within the next couple of days there will be additional quantities coming to Sri Lanka.
The World Health Organization inaugurated a new hub in Berlin that aims to help prepare the globe better to prevent future pandemics last week. WHO officials with German Chancellor Angela Merkel implemented the project as Germany is making an initial investment of $100 million in the facility.
The COVID-19 pandemic is the defining crisis of our time. It has taught the world many painful lessons. One of the most clear is the need for new, powerful systems and tools for global surveillance to collect, analyze, and disseminate data on outbreaks with the potential to become epidemics and pandemics. Viruses move fast, but data can move even faster. With the right information, countries and communities can stay ahead of emerging risks and save lives. Our aim is to put the knowledge and insights that are developed here in Berlin to practical use on the ground all over the world.
Stay tuned for stock updates. We'll be right back after a small commercial break.
ෆයිබර් සමගින් බලකැන් වෙන තැන ඉස්සර වගේ නෙවෙයි දැන් අධ්‍යාපනයට බාධා ප්‍රමාද නැති අන්තර්ජාලය ඉස්සර වගේ නෙවෙයි දැන් පින්තූරවල පැහැදිලි බවේ උපරිමය ඉස්සර වගේ නෙවෙයි දැන් වේගයට අධිවේගී අධිබලය ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ ප්‍රථම වේගවත්ම සහ පුදුම ප්‍රීමියම් ෆයිබර් අන්තර්ජාලය SLT Mobitel Fiber දේශීය ෆයිබර් බලවේගය.
Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a negative note today. The all-share price index dropped by 88.77 points to close at 9,227.88 and the S&P SL20 dropped 39.53 points to close at 3,455.23. The turnover was 7.7 billion rupees and over 874 million shares were traded. Up next are forex rates. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow with State of Business on usual time. Until then, take care. Good night.